to be interesting. And this is on DNA fingerprinting and justice delivery system. So it's very interesting in the sense that it's a medical legal kind of an article. And the authors that you see over here are professors or maybe the scholars, I mean, the professors of one is of School of Legal Studies, Department of Law, and the other one is a professor from the Government Medical College. So together they have combined and given us a an article over here where you get to see the expertise of both. And let's say as a lawyer, I am arguing one this kind of a case, and the other party is talking about, let's say, DNA. While in fingerprinting, you get all the nitty-gritties over here, well explained about the cell, how much, what the cell comprises of, and all that. So at least you know what the other person is talking about because you have some information. So these journals do help you in enhancing your knowledge as far as the articles are concerned, right? And similarly, there are a few more options in the My Library section, but let's move on to the research part. It's important how to do legal research here. Now, the first and foremost, I have option here is known as word search. So let me click on word search. And the word search, we will be keying in the query, which will give me judgments from all the jurisdictions on that particular topic. And it will do a universal search, not only in the Supreme Court, but high courts, lower courts, etc., etc. Now, for especially students who are new to law, freshers, their tendency would be that they will do a research the way they do research in a free search engine like Google search or Wikipedia search, where you have to specify each and every detail. Considering it has so many verticals, it's not only on the topic of law, and here you have only law as a database, right? Now, if I have to search for a judgment from Supreme Court of India on the topic of corruption, and that too latest, so I'll key something like this: latest judgment from Supreme Court. Now, Supreme Court, if I leave as it is, it will take USA, Canada, etc. on the topic of, let's say, corruption. So it seems to be a perfect query. Latest judgment from Supreme Court of India on corruption. Let's see what the results are. It's showing me 1337 as the results in the first column. Now this first column also has the bifurcation. The law points, that is the digest notes prepared by our editorial, are on top. Then the judgments, then bills, then notifications, then policy documents, then articles, etc. So in entirety, it's showing me all of them. Now in the second column, it's showing me the titles of all these documents, where I can see the first one is an article, second is the Supreme Court judgment, and third is an article. So it is giving me a mix of all the databases. So I had asked for only Supreme Court judgment. So how will I get it? Just expand the judgments section in the first column. Click on only button in front of the jurisdiction, that is Supreme Court, which will deselect the rest of the jurisdictions and databases and display only the Supreme Court judgments in the second column, titles. And the topmost is of the year 2019. So obviously I would like to see the latest. So I'll opt for sort by option here and choose the latest first, chronological latest first. There are 3-4 ways to search upon here. Now this will rearrange the data, the list, and show me the latest one on top. So you can just keep a note of this. 3rd of March is the latest judgment here. In March, third one is 7th of November. So there's a gap of quite some months in between March this year to November last year. Now, the next thing you need to note down is the total number of documents, that is 1337, right? And 3rd March is the latest one number. Now let's go back to the dashboard and redo this search now the way we should search in SCC. That is what is the difference? The difference is that I don't have to mention latest because I can use the sort by option. I don't have to specify code because I can click on only button in front of the jurisdiction. I get Supreme Court. So I'm left with the main topic, that is corruption. And when I search on this topic, the results will also differ from the previous search. So 1300 has jumped to 64,000. So I was missing out on such a huge a chunk of information. And when I repeat the steps like Supreme Court only I want, which has also jumped to thousands, it's around 2300 plus. And when I do the sorting option, I arrange it with the chronological latest first. I can see the one which was in the previous search as 3rd March is 23rd March now, then 21st March, then 20th March, then 17th March. So I was missing out on first 4. Similarly, down the line, after 3rd March, I'm getting 2nd March, 1st March. Remember, we had November last year straight away. 28th Feb, 23rd Feb, it's yet not gone. We are on page number, serial judgment number 10. 13th of Jan, 2nd Jan, we are on judgment number 13 and 15 also. And finally, I can see one here, 16 was the number which had that in the previous search as a 16 at serial number 16. So this is how the search has to be done. You don't have to do the detailing. You have to simply key in the main subject or topic and you will get the desired results or best results. Now let's move back to the dashboard. And similarly, if I want to search the phrases, phrases like public interest litigation, you have consumer protection, human rights, locus standi, third party, etc. So how we can search here? I mean, the phrase which we will key in, let's say public interest litigation. These are 3 words, but obviously they are to be searched as one whole word. So for the software to understand that, we need to put it in double inverted commas in the beginning and end, so that it's searched as a one whole word. Otherwise, it will search them separately. So once you have a phrase, you put it in double inverted commas, you'll get the results. So I've got the results. And within this result, if I want to further do a sub search, I can use the option of search within search. In the first column, just below the SCC Online logo, let's say in PIL, I am looking for the topic of water pollution. I'll put it in again in double inverted commas and do the sub search. And this sub search can be performed up to 6 levels, steps. I can keep on narrowing down my query. Right. So phrase, yes, we'll be putting it in double inverted commas. Similarly, there are a few more advanced search features which I'll discuss in a while. Let's move to the other options that we have in Research Plus. And words and phrases, last option in Research Plus will give you the definitions of all the legal words and phrases. And the source of these definitions is either the statutory law. I'm giving you an example here of bail, let's say, or it will be a Supreme Court of India judgment where it has been defined. So let us see what here we have. We have A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. The citation is hyperlinked. If I click on that, it will open that judgment for me. Then the second definition is from Vaman Narayan Ghia versus State of Rajasthan. Then followed by that, there's the third definition on bail from Deepak Subhash Chandra Mehta versus CBI. And another fourth definition from Wharton UK Law Dictionary. So WHARD in abbreviation denotes that. So these are all authentic sources and can be cited or mentioned in your assignments projects as well. Now, besides the definitions, we can also search by a topic. In word search, we'll be entering the keywords, whereas in find by topic, it will display the index of topics already linked to the judgments, to the acts and other databases. So if I opt for any topic, let's say administrative law, so you have judicial review, legitimate expectation, natural justice, and so on. Now let me select legitimate expectation as a topic. And on the bottom, you will find there are three ways with which you can search it. Search everywhere, search in digest notes, search in headings. So as a researcher, if you have only half an hour to do your search, opt for search in headings. Why? Because it will give me only the Supreme Court digest notes on the said topic, where legitimate expectation is the heading of the document. So I can see only 87 documents. And the first one is under administrative law, legitimate expectation. You take any document for that matter, it will have the main heading as legitimate expectation. So you're getting a very focused search and very few documents. Obviously, I don't have that much time. I want to do a very focused search. But if you have, let's say, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours to do your research, then what you can do is instead of searching on this search in headings, so you can opt for search in digest notes. So what is the difference? First, let me type the topic on the search bar above, which will now display me the topics under which it falls. It's falling under administrative law. It's falling under doctrines and maxims. It's falling under service law. So this internal indexing is done by our editorial team, legal experts. And every publication or publisher has his own method or way of doing the indexing, internal indexing. Now, I'm selecting again legitimate expectation under administrative law and selecting default selection, which is already selected, that is search and digest notes. So notice the difference. Earlier, it was giving me only those documents where legitimate expectation is has a heading of that document. Here, I'll get the documents where legitimate expectation is a heading, but it will also show me some of the documents where legitimate expectation is discussed somewhere, but it's not part of the heading, like this, in this case, medical license. Similarly, from other, you'll see like on liquor and all. So here, entertainment, amusement, leisure and sports, liquor and somewhere legitimate expectation is being discussed, right? So you're getting more documents. 87 has jumped to 356. Obviously, you have more time to spare. Now, if you have, let's say, number of days to do your research, means exhaustive research, like 2, 3 days or something like that, then you should opt for search everywhere. And let's see what it yields, what the results will look like. So I am selecting again legitimate expectation. I am selecting again administrative law and legitimate expectation, and then search everywhere, the first option which was there. Now the results will increase manifold, like 9,000 something. And it will also show me the digest notes, not only from Supreme Court, but high courts, other courts. It'll show me the full text judgment from Supreme Court, lower courts, high court, etc. It'll show me rules, notifications, articles, treaties, etc., whatnot, where legitimate expectation has been discussed. So it's more exhaustive. Obviously, when you have ample time, you can opt for this. Now, the next search is party name search. And in party name search, we have two sections, search by party name and search by famous case names. You have a famous case name which has made media headlines like Nirbhaya case, Triple Talaq case, Sabarimala case, and many, many more. And if you want to search it, you can't use the search by party name. You'll have to go for search by famous case names. And here, when I opt for this, let's say, sorry, Sabrimala, I have typed Sabri and it gave me women option, women entry in Sabrimala. The suggestion is that I click on find case. So what happens here is that it'll decode and show me the actual party name, which is Indian Young Lawyers Association versus State of Kerala. Double clicking will open the judgment, but I won't do that. Now I'll show you the traditional way to search. In here, you'll have to first select the jurisdiction. If you have any dilemma, whether it's a high court or a Supreme Court or something like that, you can opt for all jurisdiction. Now, when I type the party name, let's say Golaknath, the judgment, and I can also key in the other party name, that is versus State of Punjab. Partially, I'm typing Punjab as well, but between the two party names, I am not keying in any V dot or versus, because that will result in zero results. So just put one blank space in between and click on find case, and it will show you the unique citation on bottom. I'm opening this judgment. Now this judgment has 120 law points. It's a very landmark judgment and lengthy judgment. I'm sure some of you might have gone through it. And in the second column where the title of the judgment is there, you will find the labels J, which denotes that this is a full text judgment, and 11 is the quorum strength. D stands for digest note, and 11 is the quorum strength. And the third column, I can see out of the 11 judges, only 4 judges' names are in bold. Now, this denotes that these 4 are the ones who have written or authored this judgment, penned this judgment. Rest have concurred with the other judges. Right. And if I click on any judge's name, it will jump to that particular para from where his judgment starts. Clicking on his name will take me back to the top of the judgment. Right. Now, I can mail this judgment, print this judgment, options are there. But if I want to copy a para or two, how to do that? I can't use the manual method of highlighting with the mouse and using shortcut, because this judgment also has the editorial input. It also has the catchwords, the head noting and all before the judgment commences. So that manual method of copy paste is deactivated. But judgment can be copied. It's in the public domain. So what is the method to copy the paras? So what you'll do is you'll click on the clipboard icon, which is just in before the para number. One click will mark a tick on that clipboard box. And therefore, I have selected 3 paras, multiple selections I've done. And post that, in the third column, where you see these icons associated with the judgment, there is an option of smart copy, a tick with a document in the background. Now, this will extract all 3 paras in a new window. Each and every para will have a source, that is a party name, citation. And now here, if I want to do a manual copy paste, I can do that. Instead of the entire para, I want only 2, 3 lines to be copied. And I can also mail it across to myself or my colleague as well. So that is the smart copy feature, one. Second is this judgment. If you Google, it might be appearing that this judgment has been overruled. But remember in Supreme Court, not entire judgment is overruled. Only a few law points are overruled. And as a researcher, I must know which law points are overruled, so that I don't cite it in my cases or in my moot court competition, etc. So for that purpose, I will use the search within search option, key in overruled here, and start the search. Now these 120 digest notes have reduced to 15. And in the second column, I can see an additional label appearing in the digest notes, that is in the form of a red circle with an exclamation mark, which denotes that this particular digest note is overruled. And if I click on this digest note, it will be displayed in the third column. It's on Article 368 in preamble for minority. And on the bottom, it is mentioned in which judgment it has been overruled. It has been overruled in case 1 Bharti versus State of Carolina 73. And again, it was cited somewhere in 2011 and overruled in Indian Medical Association versus Union of India. So you come to know in which judgment also it has been overruled. The overruled part you understood. Now, another important aspect as far as the legal research is concerned, I would like to see in which cases or judgment this Golaknath's judgment has been cited. And if I want to get the list, you simply need to click on this lens with the document in the background. This is known as case reference. One click on this and it will now give me the judgments, digest notes from all the jurisdictions where Golaknath has been cited. So this judgment of Rajasthan SRTC versus Bal Mukadmer of 2009 has a citation of Golaknath, where you click on this third column, go to next highlight, it will jump to that particular line where the citation is highlighted of Golaknath. And it will also give you the treatment, that is, it has been relied on. So this judgment has been relied on. And not only this, Golaknath judgment has relied, Rajasthan SRT has relied on Golaknath, but it has also relied on Rajasthan SRT versus Zakir Hussain, M.A. Murthy versus State of Karnataka, Ashok Kumar Swankar versus Union of India. So as a researcher, you are getting plethora of information to do your legal research, not only one judgment, or let's say in the entire result list of 615, you can easily multiply it with 3 or 4. So you're getting that much of information over here, right? Now, if I want to take a printout of a judgment here, I have the print option, of course. And in the print, what I can see is multiple options. One is true print and the other one is non-true print. What is the difference between the two? True print will give me the exact image of the print journal, or you can say exact photocopy of the print journal, while I use the true print. Non-true print will be like an HTML page, the way it is being displayed. It will not have the same paragraphing pagination that you have in the true print. Right. So I will opt for true print and show you how it looks like. Let me opt for this. It will ask me to enter the number of pages. So let me select a couple of them. Once I select, I click on print, it will convert it into a PDF, right? So once it is converted into a PDF, it'll then display the true print for me. Now this true print will have the page numbering as original in the journal, that is page number 299. Previous judgments, para number 1819 is appearing. Then this judgment starts. It'll have the catchwords, bold, italic, etc. The same manner you had in the print journal. And it will also have a SCC Online true print watermark, licensee name, etc. So it can be produced in the court and it will be readily acceptable. So rather than taking a journal, then taking a photocopy and presenting in the court is an old methodology now. Besides, it will also loosen the papers while you are doing the photocopying and all, and damages it, the binding and all. So this is the best option that we have over there. Now, while doing your research, you will also would like to note some of the important judgment citations. So noting them one by one was also cumbersome. So what I can do is I have an option here, copy party name and citation to clipboard. The first icon in the third column, I did that. And after that, I can paste it in my draft. In my draft or maybe in my editor, etc. Like I'm showing you here this way. So it makes things easier for me. Now, we have understood the overall law point, we have understood the true print and as well as the smart copy feature in this section. Let's move ahead to the dashboard and go on to the next one, that is citation search. Now in citation, what happens is that I have to select the journal of whom I want to search the citation. SCC is our journal, but we have also tied up with regional journals like DRA for Delhi, Maharashtra Journal, MP Law Journal, ILR for 8-9 states, the government publication, and many, many more. But it's not possible to tie up with all the leading publishers like All India Reporter, Income Tax Reporter, etc. But if you have an All India Reporter citation, so let us search for that and see whether it will search. And I enter the year, and the page index is also prepared by our editorial. So in AR Supreme Court 2020 volume, on page number 1, the first judgment was published. On page number 30, the next, and 37, the third. So if somebody approaches you and says AR 2020 Supreme Court, page number 4, I want a judgment. So that means he is looking for the first one, page number 1. So it can auto correct as well. Now I click on get citation and the judgment will get retrieved and displayed. This judgment has a SCC citation, of course, but when I open the digest note, that's where the cross citations or equivalent citations have been also kept by our editorial. So apart from SCC citation, we have SCC Online citation, All India Cases citation, All India Reporter citation, Criminal Law Journal, and KLT. So instead of All India All India Reporter, if I had AIC citation, I would have still been able to retrieve this same document over here because of the cross citation or equivalent citations that we have. Now, we can also search on the basis of a section, judgments on the basis of a section. So first thing, we need to enter the act name. So let us take Contract Act. Don't put Indian Contract Act, Indian Penal Code, because all were having common Indian, and it will not giving, it will not show you the correct list or result. Type the Principal Act straight away. Then you opt for the section, let's say section 17, fraud defined. I double click on this. It will now retrieve judgments from all the jurisdictions on section 17 of the Contract Act. Right. So these options that are there will help you to retrieve the data the way you are looking for. I mean, the queries that you have. But there is one more important aspect here, that is of searching the statements or sentences in SCC. Remember, in SCC, it will search, the search engine searches for all the words in the sentence. It's not like in the Google where out of, let's say, 10 words or 15 words within a sentence, if half of them are also matching, it will display that document, whereas in SCC, it will not. So it will go for all words by default. And one sentence can be written in 2, 3 different ways, though meaning in essence would remain the same. So how to search upon these statements? I'll give a very simple one. Act of court shall prejudice no one is a statement. Of course, in many judgments, it's there. And if I type in the entire statement the way it is, and then I click on start search, it will show the results. Now, these results that you see are humongous. It's around 1,28,000 and all. And the first document that I see is an article where these keywords are appearing, but not necessarily as a sentence of prejudice act. And then in the rest of the paras, wherever they are matching, they are being highlighted. So it's like searching for a needle in a haystack when you are doing the sentence search in SCC. So what is the method to overcome this? So let me retrieve the previous query. And since these common joining words like off and the are appearing in almost every sentence, I'll remove those. So I'm left with the main keywords: act, court, and let's say prejudice. And now these 3 keywords that I have zeroed in, to ensure that they are part of a sentence, I need to search for them close to each other. And for that purpose, I will use one Boolean operator here known as near. Now, when I type in capital letters near, what does this mean, or what does it do? Near means 10 words range. So these 2 correlating words will be searched within a range of 10 words. Now, the sentence, I'm not bothered how the Honorable Judge has written in whatever manner, but the main focus is on the keywords. And instead of lakhs of judgments, I'm getting 2000 odd. And let me see the first one where it says, principle that act of court shall prejudice no man. So somewhere it will be no one, no man, anyone, etc. I'm not bothered about that as well. And if I open each and every document over here, it will have these keywords part of a sentence. So act of court which should prejudice no man, something like that. So slight deviations in the sentence, but I am getting the meaningful results. So that is what the near operator does, and that's how you should use this Boolean operator. Similarly, we also have a couple of more operators which also help you in doing your effective legal research. If I talk about multiple choices or similar meaning words to be searched upon simultaneously, why? Because if I type one keyword and the similar meaning word, other similar meaning word, I leave, I will miss out on some judgments on that particular synonym. So to simultaneously or either way get both of them or either of them, I will use the OR operator. Now, let me just give you a simple example. Suomoto. It's also spelled as Suomotu. Right. So if I search for one, the other will miss. If I key in both, it will give me only those judgments where both are being mentioned, which is a rarity. If I want either of these, I'll use the OR operator in capital letters. So it will search internally twice and give me either of these or wherever they are appearing both as well. Let's see the results. And the result list, which is appearing, I can see here in this it says jurisdiction to entertain sumo moto revision. And the fourth one says suo motu MOTU contempt petition. So I'm not missing out on either of these. Now, similarly, I also have one more operator here, which is not operator, which excludes a term from appearing in the results. So therefore, if I am looking for judgments on, let's say, motor accident, but I don't want the ones where death has occurred. So after not, what all I am keying in will be excluded from appearing in the motor accident results. So let us start the search. I'll get the results. Now within the results, you opt for search within search. And in the search within search, I can type the excluded term, that was death, and see whether it will show us any results. So it has been successfully excluded because there are 0 results found. So the Boolean operators can be accordingly used by the researcher. After doing the research, he would like to also save the documents. Now, how can we save the documents in SCC? It's very simple. You can click on the save button, it will save. But where it will save? It will save on the common drive, let's say my documents or something like that. And each and every time it will keep on accumulating in the same destination. Now, over a period of time, when they get accumulated, I am baffled that which one is on consumer protection, which one is on contract, etc., etc. So I can make things easier or simpler by creating folders and saving the respective subjects in those folders, giving them some subject name and saving under those folders. So how can I do that? You have an option here known as add to my SCC Online folders. I click upon that. It will prompt me to change the folder. I click on change folder. Now menu appears of it will display me the existing folders here, and I can then create a new folder also, of course, where on the bottom there are options available. Right. So it is taking a while. Let me just retry once again and see whether it's opening. Error while binding folders. Some slowness is there. Let me just try once again. Refresh the page and see. So let me click on add my folders, then I click on change folders, and let's hope this time around it works. So here I am. I'm selecting the root folder, that is my folder, because I can create subfolders also, folder within folder within folder also, tree can be done. Now I'm selecting the root folder and clicking on the bottom new folder, it will create the folder. Now this folder that is being created is not being created on my PC or laptop. It's being created on the cloud, on the SCC Online server. So as a researcher, you can create the folder in one machine. Then next day you go to the computer lab, you are on some other machine, you can access it as well over there. Because access will be through the ID with which it has been created. So it is secure as such. Now it's prompting me to rename. So I'm giving the name of the institution, let's say. Once I do that, I press enter, it gets renamed. Then I click on select folder and I can see the folder name now already selected. I mean, folder is selected. I click on OK button and this document gets saved in that folder. And I'm not confined to only the Supreme Court judgments or High Court judgments. I can also add in the same folder the notifications, the articles, tribunal judgments, etc., etc. And once I save it, what are the steps to retrieve it? On top, you have the dashboard icon. Adjacent to it, we have my SCC Online, and here there's an option of my folders, view folders. I click upon that. It'll now display me the entire list of folders that I have created till date. And the latest one that I have created is already selected and the documents attached to it, the titles are being displayed in the third column. So I can create folders, I can save documents, I can then retrieve them as well. So you are creating your own subject indexes, you can say, maybe. on the cloud. Now, one step beyond, I am citing these in my moot court or later on in my profession in the court. I'll have to produce a copy. Now, taking a printout and simply presenting it will not work. It will not be accepted. I'll have to create an index page mentioning the party name, citation, etc., equivalent citation, and the page number from where it commences. So now, when you take a printout, you will have to also paginate the numbers in continuation. So one judgment from page number 1 to 10, second from 11 to 20, third from 21 to 30, let's say, you'll have to paginate. And accordingly, you prepare an index page, which will take you half an hour, 1 hour. But here it will be a matter of a minute to prepare a compilation. We call it case compilation. So first, you select the documents of whom you want to prepare a compilation. Then adjacent to the result is there is an action toolbar. And in the action toolbar, you can copy one judgment from one folder to another. You can move it permanently from one folder to another. You can delete in the present list that is right now in front of us, any document if you want to. You can print the summary, print the true print the non-true print, etc. 2-3 ways. And the last option is create case compilation. I click on that. Now it will display me the titles. And obviously CAT, the tribunal is on top. I don't want that. I want the judgment on top. So I can use the navigation buttons on the right hand side. So Supreme Court is now on top. After doing the rearrangement, I click on the bottom create button. Now that's it for me. The software will now generate a compilation for me in the background and should be ready in a while. And the first section of that compilation is table of contents or the index page, which has the party name, citation, equivalent citation, the page number from where it commences. This is also allocated by the software internally. Page number. So page number 1, 2 is the first document. Page number 3 is the next one, which goes up to page number 6. And the 7th is the last one. I can also edit it. I can enter my notes, remarks, make it bold, italic, delete a line, insert a column, etc. All can be done over there. It's editable. Now, once I click on save button to save change permanently, then I move on to the page numbers in the second column. I click on that, which will retrieve the judgment documents now. Now, those judgment documents will have the page numbering allotted by the software. And so in square box, you can see page number 1, then page number 2, and from page number 3, the new judgment starts. Then it goes on up to page number 6, I guess. And from 7, the new one starts. So there's no blank page between the shuffles or between the judgments. It's all in continuation. So last option is to download the case compilation. Go to this icon in the second column, that is download case compilation, which will download it in most probably into your downloads folder as a PDF. I can retrieve it and then I have a look at this. First page is table of contents along with page numbering and all. Then the documents start along with the pagination done by the software internally. Take a print and present it in the court. That's the case compilation feature for you. Right. So we are almost through with all the options. Let me show you one or two in the my library section, and then we can open a question and answer now. You can go for bilateral, multilateral treaties. When it comes to the secondary materials, you have the bills in parliament, which are introduced as passed in both the houses. Those are available. Then the constitutional documents have the entire Constituent Assembly debates, volume 1 to 12, which were held just under 3 years, 47 beginning till November 49. And it also has an index page, which will help you. I'll tell you how. It will have the conversion table. That is, was the article number in the draft. Let's say 5A was the article in draft, and finally in the Constitution it was 6. 5AA was 7 later because of the amendments, insertions, etc., whatever it is. And the date on which it was introduced, discussed, and passed, those are available in the third column. So if you remember this, 12th August was passed, and I go to a volume where it's also showing me the date of passing date over here. So Friday, 12th August was the one in volume number 9, which will be discussing the draft as well as the final constitution. Both will be available. Sometimes it gets stuck because of zoom in, zoom out. So once I refresh, maybe you can show that. But as such, this helps you in understanding the assembly debates, how it evolved, what was the draft, what was the, sorry, I clicked on exit. No worries, we'll quickly join again. And what was the final constitution? So all that is there. And last option that I'll show you here is the curated topics, which is again for the advanced researchers here who are sitting over here. So if you have a topic and on that topic, you want all the information under one umbrella. You want the constitutional documents, you want the statutory law, you want the case law, you want the notifications, bills, rules pertaining to that topic in one place. Then you will opt for browse curated topics because it's already curated by our editorial. So once you retrieve that topic, it will show you all of them in one place. Whereas if you do a word search, all of them, if you remember in the first column, it will show you under judgments, then statutes, then notifications, then articles, etc., in separate databases. So that information which was in different databases has been picked and placed under one umbrella, and that too, it will not show you the entire cases on that topic. The select few landmark or important ones shortlisted by our editors. So that is the best part of the curated topics. I don't know why it's taking a little more than usual. Let me try one more browser, the other one, and see whether it works. Let me just go for the user login and see whether it works. So the curated topics works like that. And we also have inbuilt help feature, which I would like to show you because at times if you are seeking help while you don't have a number or even if you have the contact etc. and it's not getting through, so you can have the self-help guide here in the form of help center, right? So I think it has significantly slowed down. Let me try the other browser also here and see whether it works. So I'm trying this browser here. Yeah, it seems it's working here. So you have this browse curated topics in the My Library section. I click upon that. And now it will display me the main topics here, which is constitutional law, public law, corporate law, intellectual, environment, infrastructure, etc. As you can see, around 12, 13 topics are there. Now, when I opt for one, let's say corporate law, our editorial has prepared some major topics here like aviation, banking, companies, competition, due diligence, fintech, etc. Let me open one. So under competition law, you have the articles. So these are not all articles. They are shortlisted by our editorial. Few of them are here. When it comes to the statutory law, it's showing me the Competition Act, fine. But it's also showing me Coconut Committee Act, one section only. Then Companies Act, Section 234, 10, Schedule 5. Then Electricity Act, Section 23, 60, 61, and so forth. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, Section 13, Schedule 12. Insurance Act, 6A. Motor Vehicles Act. And then finally, you also have petroleum and natural gas, RERA, Prasar Bharati, TRAI, etc. So what all these documents are, sections are doing here, they also are directly related to competition law, have been so picked from other databases and placed over here. That's what curation is. Same goes with rules, notifications, bills, and case laws. So in the case laws, you will not see the entire cases on competition law, only a handful. And among them, you see this WhatsApp LLC 2021 case, Maru Travels versus Uber India, that was a tariff war, that case, and Competition Commission of India versus Bharti Airtel, and so on and so forth. So maybe hardly 30, 40 you will find, not the entire hundreds, thousands, what all are there on competition, this competition law. So this curation is going to be helpful for the advanced researchers. Coming to the help center, it's in the form of a question mark where you get this user manual. It will open a help window. In the help window, I can, let's say, type anything. Let's say I want to know more about smart copy. It gives me a suggestion. I click on that. It will illustrate that with an example. Similarly, in the home page of help page, you have some 7, 8 categories. Here, if I click on search methods, if you remember, we talked about those or operator, not operator, null. And if I click on any one of the titles, it'll give me the illustrative example, how it works. And in the pandemic, we did some webinars and uploaded few on the YouTube channel. So in the webinars link, when you click, you get those titles, advanced search, SCC Online folder. So if I want to know more about this, how to create the SCC Online folders, I opt for that. It will brief me with the topic, and on the bottom, there's a YouTube link to watch it later as well. So this is that's it from me, my side, as far as the software is concerned, how it works and all. Now I am opening the question and answer round. So participants, you have queries, you may please either unmute or put it in the chat.
Yes, we open the floor for discussion right now. If there are any queries that you want to ask, please go ahead and ask the resource person. There's still about 5 minutes left for the session to wind, so you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Students, you've chosen a field where you have to be very expressive, you have to be talkative, and therefore you should not shy away. I can understand many of you will be new to the system, so it will take some time to grasp and assimilate, and then finally you, while using it, you'll have queries. But for the students who are already acclimatized to it, using it, if they have any queries, don't feel shy, just ask. I think there's some, let me go to the chat. How can I go to the chat?
The question is whether all these features that you have said just now, Mr. Raina, is it for free or do they have to make any subscription, is the question that a student is asking.
All right, ma'am. See, if you are in Vistas, it's free. If you're from other institutions, as Mr. Suresh Kumar told me, and your institution or college, university has subscribed, you will get free access. If you haven't, you might will not get it, I'm afraid. So for Vistas, it is free of cost. Yes.
Is remote access available, sir?
Remote access, as such, we have an arrangement with a third party, where MyLoft is the product, my library on fingertips. That is the full form, and we do provide that, but it's on a subscription basis. So I don't know the arrangement at Vistas right now, whether they are having their own remote access arrangement, or if they want, we can take this separately for the subscription of remote access.
Any other queries for any of you?
All right. I am also, sharing the contact details of ours, where the students can communicate with us on our email ID, that is learning@scconline.com. That's the first preference, because while we are doing these sessions, we might not be able to pick the calls. So it's a department mail ID, so you'll get a prompt response, but do mention your institution name. Then second is the toll-free number 1-800-258-6310, which is available from Monday through Saturday from 10 in the morning till 7 in the evening. And then the training department, both the resource persons numbers are with you. You can take a note of this or a snapshot if you wish to.
All right, so we have come to an end of a very interesting and informative session that the Library of Wales University had arranged with the SCC Online. On behalf of the Dean School of Law, the HODs, the faculty members and the students of School of Law, and most importantly on behalf of the management, I, as the HOD of BA LLB program, do extend a heartfelt thanks to Mr. Rajesh Raina from the SCC Online group for having taken us through this very important session for the last 1 hour. Sir, I would like to inform you that I think we are one of the least ever colleges in the country that has a subject called Using of Law Reporters and Journals. It's a separate paper, a practical oriented paper, which we offer for our students in the second semester. So in that paper, they need to know how to use both the digital as well as the hard copy of the reporters and journals. So I am very happy that students have been greatly benefited by your session today. And we hope that such sessions would be organized from your side for our students every year, so that all students would get familiarized on how to use the software. So thank you very much, sir, on behalf of all of us, for taking your time off and being here with us. I thank all the participants, the organizers, and all of you for being here this morning. And I'm sure all of you have benefited as much as we have benefited. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all for another good program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rohan, and all the distinguished faculty, and last but not least, the students. I wish you all the best in your career and your studies ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.